Hello, I am Rhonda Matthews, and I am going to take you through my website. I am very excited about what I accomplished and what I learned in my EdTech class, and so this is the result of all of the work that we have done for this semester, and so I just want to share with you. So my homepage, I kind of picked up the moniker TheEdDoctor. I am a scientist, a chemist by trade, and I am also an educator. And so just to try to blend the two, I came up with the Ed Doctor because I really approach my teaching as, the same way I approached research projects, which is, finding out as much as I can about how you teach and how we can get students excited about STEM education. And so I spend a lot of time looking up resources and strategies and methods. And so I figured that I would create a website that would be aimed at sharing some of my learnings. And of particular interest to me is educating minorities and changing the face of what a scientist is, so that people that look like me, children that look like me, believe that they can make contributions in science. Very needed contributions, because there's so many things that plague the African American community that are not being studied because we are underrepresented in those sciences. And so the name of my website is the Science Ed Prescriptive Project, and it's created. Hopefully it will become a platform that will be widely utilized to research and remedy the social ills that can be improved by promoting science literacy. So I kind of give you a background to that on the first home page. Of course, I'm still working on it. It's a work in progress. There's some graphics that I would like to change. The second page goes into my bio. So it gives you a little bit of background information about me, some of the things that I've done career-wise, and also some of the things that I love to do. And one of those things is spending time with family. I love to read. I love watching great movies, going out with family and friends. And also one of the things that I've always loved was to mentor and work with younger people. So mentoring young people and being involved in volunteering with youth organizations and even through school, making sure that I'm available at different events is something that I really like to do. My next page is my innovations page, and here I use this page to highlight some of the things that, have helped me in my career as an educator, and then some of those things that inspire me, some research on some STEM educators and some of the tools that they've used. And so I use this page to kind of share that. And I've broken down into 3 different categories of some of the innovations that I will continue to add to. One of them being content cures. So those are resources to teach science that I found on the website. Then we also have a financial cure. So since I am targeting minorities in science, kind of some of those things that would help with educational costs or even any money woes in the classroom, trying to provide equipment or grants, anything that I find information that would help with financing science education will be found in my financial cures. And finally, I have my cognition cures. And one of the things that I think that's important as a teacher is to really help students figure out how they learn, how they think, looking at pedagogy really closely to see how we can make the connections that help our science learning stick with our students. And since I've always taught in Title I schools where there is an achievement gap, these strategies tend to really help to close some of those gaps. And so as I find those resources, I will be adding them as well. So some of my favorite content curators is basically the Amoeba Sisters. I've used those to help my students prepare for LEAP testing. So I put that as a resource, as one of my first content resources. And I'm just kind of quickly going to go through here. And I kind of have it broke down as to what the prescription is or how you could click to get on their site. And so there's, with each thing that I added, or each resource that I added, I give you a link to the website. I tell you a little bit about the background, the innovator who has made this site or this information possible, and any information that I can add as to why they are innovators or why their information is significant. And here I embedded the website so that you could get quickly to the information, and I'm kind of scrolling really quickly. And I have here the prescription. Click here just to get that information, but I also plan to put a little bit more information on why this why each of these are important resources. And then finally, one of my favorite cognition cures is Explore Learning's Gizmos. They have lessons and simulations already put together that are really well thought out. The pedagogy is really well thought out for science concepts, and it's in all of the sciences as well as the math. And I think that this is just a great resource to share as my first cognition cure. The resources page hasn't really been built out yet, so basically I have some of the resources where I got some of the information that you'll see on the innovations page, but there's also so many more things and resources that I really found while doing curating some websites that are helpful. So I have those links here in the resources pages, and of course I'm planning on building out those resources so that it's a little more user friendly, and actually probably parsing them out in a different way. So I will continue to build on that. And then so finally we get to the page that I'm most proud of, and that's probably the digital story page. So this is where I really push the boundaries of my use of technology. So I created my first digital story with the graphics and being able to learn about copyrights and which images I could use. And then finally, the big pride is in creating an animated short film. And I decided to center mine around motivating reluctant students. So lots of times when we teach in schools where it's heavily minority, the resources are not there, the teachers that are needed are not there, students have had a maybe negative educational experience. Sometimes they need a little bit more motivating. And so these are one of the challenges that I've had in my career. And so I share some of the ways that I motivated reluctant students. We'll also move to the educational apps. So here I have my first app review. I reviewed Sown to Grow. Social emotional learning is something that we're hearing a lot of, especially in light of the pandemic, knowing that there's so many issues that we need to address to help to make our students whole and healthy. And so I figured that looking at an app that will help teachers to incorporate that would be useful at this time. So here I have my app review, and of course I will continue to build those out. And also something I'm very proud of is the graphics that I was able to put together for explaining what my professional learning environment is, and what a professional learning network is. And of course, this is something that I will continue to build, but just the fact that I put these graphics together. Again, there was so much that I got out of this class, and I found it to be very valuable. And so I'm looking forward to sharing those learnings with others. So here's just some of the reflections that I had on all of the learnings. They're included here, and also another graphic. It was pretty challenging and time consuming, but learned a lot. Putting together just kind of a graphic flow chart of what I think my professional learning environment looks like right now, and trying to build that up and build it out. And finally, website evaluation. So went through, looked at some websites, and evaluated the website based on this worksheet. This kind of helped me to really look at, besides appearance, what is really a good website that we should consider when we are deciding what is useful, or what will be useful to us, and what our goals are in our classroom. So that is, and I will bring us back, that is the Ed Doctor. Hopefully something, that I've kind of been thinking about for a while, that I kind of want to share more widespread with a professional learning network. Those that I already know. There's a lot of people that look to me for some advice on science teaching. So I plan to make that a little more widespread. So that's basically my website. I'm Dr. Rhonda Matthews, and thank you for watching.